that we're encouraged to come into God's presence, right? So Psalm 27, seek my face. Psalm 105, seek the Lord, right? Seek his presence. And so similarly, in the New Testament, in James chapter 4, verse 8, right? James also says something similar, draw near to God. And so we know, right, we are to seek God's presence. We're to draw near to him. But then the question is, well, how? Right? How do we fulfill that commandment? How are we to be obedient to what Scripture says, to seek God's presence, right? To draw near to God? Well, this is where we can point to passages, as you see, like Psalm 95, verse 2. Let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise. Or Psalm 100, verse 4. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. See, here in these two Psalms, these two examples, we learn something very important about the purpose and the result of our thanksgiving and giving thanks to God. What is this? Is that thanksgiving to God is the means by which we enter into his presence. Right? Giving thanks to him is the way, is the how for us to seek the Lord's presence, to draw near to him. And if we kind of look further, there is evidence for this, even across the different letters of Paul. And so in other of his letters, Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 and 7, this is very, I'm sure well known to many of you, where Paul writes to the Philippian church, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, and then note this, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And so here, Paul specifically mentions thanksgiving with presenting our prayers to God. And so you kind of see, right, there's a very important purpose to why we must not only cultivate a grateful heart, but then to live it out, to express it, right, to give thanks in all circumstances. Because in doing so, we are drawn into the presence of God. Right? Thanksgiving is the gateway into the presence of the Lord. And we're then invited to go deeper in him, to have our concerns, our worries, our sufferings met by the very presence of God himself.